You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS. That was the Jay Giles Band, Hard Driving Man. Then we had the Heavy Metal Kids doing a song called Chelsea Kids. And I'm watching the TV with the Chelsea team playing Arsenal right now at Arsenal. It's 24 minutes and it's 0-0, 0-0, as you would say if you were back there. And I have my guest, Bill Burr. How are you, Bill?
I'm doing all right.
Hey.
Doing all right. Enjoying you watching the game.
Yeah?
Well, I don't like...
You don't mind, right?
No, I like watching it with somebody authentic who's actually really into it, as opposed to somebody over here who's like protesting the NFL or doing it to seem interesting.
Neil, didn't Neil or something?
A what?
Didn't get on the hands and Neil?
I think you're still saying 0-0. I thought you were still saying the score. I didn't know what you were saying.
A knee.
Your vibe, your energy is what my wife wants me to be around the house.
Yeah.
As I'm too wound up, when we had a dog, I used to stir up the dog, and its ears would be up all the time like there was an intruder. But it was just evidently
It was just your energy.
Yeah, evidently the energy that I bring around the house brings tension.
You're tight up. You're tightly wound.
Yeah.
Are you? Would you say that?
Yeah.
Like you're uptight.
I'm trying not to be.
What do you think you're uptight about? Just have you always been like that?
I don't know. I don't know. I had
Where are you
orange
from,
hair
New York?
when I was a kid, and it started with that probably.
Being a ginger?
Yeah. Probably that. Just, it's like I'm a white dude, so I hit the lottery socially, but then I got the orange hair, and it was just, I saw how close the brass ring was, and it just wasn't happening for me. So I think, I don't think it was necessarily only that, but it was, just in general, you know what I mean? And then I didn't have a confident vibe. I kind of half-stepped into things, so then it just came off as weakness. So the exact thing that I feared, I ended up bringing it to me, which was an ass-kicking. So probably that, and also how I was just born. Just wound a little too tight.
Yeah.
I got to have more Jonesy vibe. Just like how soothing it was just to listen to you say the score of that game.
Yeah.
Sitting here watching Arsenal versus Chelsea. Just right there. It's like you're smoking a cigar.
Yeah, but that was like a Liverpool accent.
Huh?
You were doing like a Liverpool accent.
Was I? I don't know. I watched Benny Hill. That's the extent of my research.
So, like, you think that guy, he called himself Simply Red because he was a ginger too?
Yeah, I think what he did was, if you
Simply
ever watched
Red?
The Perfect Storm, when that wave's coming, you can't run from it. You got to steer the ship into it. And that's what he did. He's like, Simply Red, that's where I am. Bring it. What do you got? Then he had that hair hanging down to protect his eyes. You didn't know what he was looking at. Then he could sucker people.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. and then he'd get his money.
Malcolm McLaren, do you know who he is?
No, but I love it. Is he another redheaded dude?
Yeah.
So like,
I'm only going to mention
know,
redheaded dudes right now.
Malcolm McLaren.
He was the manager of the Sex Pistols. He looked like the dude from Simply Red a
I
bit.
thought he was one of the captains on Star Trek. That sounds like one of those actor-y names. Malcolm McLaren.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had a redhead as a manager?
Yeah.
Oh, so you knew that was ill-fated, right?
No, I liked him.
It wasn't tough enough for you?
I liked him. He was a good
now
guy.
I feel bad.
He
Okay.
robbed us blind, but I still liked him.
Now, why do you think that is? If somebody robs you blind, but you still like him?
Well, he didn't look after the dough. He spent it. I think he put it back into the band when we made this movie called The Rock and Roll Swindle. He put our money into that to make that movie.
While still taking a percentage off any profit of the movie, of course.
Yeah, and we never had a lawyer in the day. We had his lawyer. That was the lawyer. It was all wrong, but it came back.
Do you know why to this day I still really don't have a business manager? Is because I watched all those behind the musics, and I learned.
Billy Joel was a good one, right?
Yeah, it was like his brother-in-law. So and then that screwed up his whole band because then he had to go out and he was cutting everybody's pay and everybody got pissed. And that his stupid brother-in-law on some woman he's not even married to. Then all of a sudden I can't hear Liberty DeVito playing with Billy Joel anymore because of that idiot. What do you think he is now? He's probably in a Walmart spending.
He's probably
we didn't start the fire money.
he's probably Ubering.
No, I bet he had. He's got bags of it buried somewhere.
I wonder if he ever runs into him, Billy Joel, into the stepbrother. I wonder if he ever runs into him. You know what I mean? Or
You
did
know
he
something? That sounds like the beginning of a movie I would like to watch.
I'd like
like
to
a-
watch that.
Like a vengeance movie starring Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Getting the guy who took his money.
Billy Joel, screaming for vengeance.
That's right. He's getting hammered, driving his car through the front of people's houses. Wonder why he never wrote a song about that.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is?
I
Well,
just-
thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally felt successful. You see this? You wouldn't say that if I had brown or black hair. I guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch.
I just got this one. It's a new stainless one.
You know, I think yours is a little lighter. I think mine's better.
Let me feel yours. Your watch.
Huh? Oh, you want to see my watch?
I want to feel it.
You want to feel it? All right. I feel like this is like some stupid stuff that I shouldn't be doing right now. Is this a bit? Do you take a hammer out and smash it? I've only had it for like 2 weeks.
There's no. Well, actually, about the same.
What is yours?
What?
What kind is it?
Oh, you're touching me kind of weird there.
Huh? It wasn't. You handed it off weird. I just saw what it was like to be in a band with you right there. You're not going to take responsibility for your 50% of that?
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed the handoff.
Yeah,
to be honest
it was
with
like kind of felt nice. Kind of
I feel
smooth.
closer to you. Well, I'm a comedian. I've never worked a hard day in my life. You don't get calluses leaning on a mic stand, maybe on my elbow.
So you have a podcast, right?
Yes, I do.
Weekly podcast called the Monday Morning Podcast. How many? You have a lot. Is it big like Mariner? Is it big like him?
No, Marin had Obama. Obama came on, so I would say no.
He probably
I think
never.
I got Jim Florentine coming up. Let's hype it up. That's bad because now it seems like I'm making fun of Jim
What if
Florentine.
he's
I'm not.
listening? What, he ain't
I was
gonna-
making fun of myself, Jim. If
He
you-
ain't. He ain't coming on now. If he's heard that.
I don't have guests for the most part. I just talk to myself
For how long?
like an hour and 20 minutes.
No
the other
music.
day.
Just talk.
No music, no editing.
Just topic
Yeah.
Like-
Stream of consciousness, talk about watches.
of football. What was the last one you did
I did,
by yourself?
I don't know, I did it on Tuesday.
And what do you
Daily.
remember? What you spoke about? What was? Did you have phoners? People phoning in?
Nope.
So you literally just you.
That people will ask me questions.
Oh,
This guy tried to claim that I was an alcoholic. You know, alcoholics think everybody's an alcoholic because they can't walk away from it. Then they think that you should be in the program. I mean, I definitely have had periods in my life where I probably, any doctor would say, well, you go to the doctor, they go, do you have more than 4 drinks in a week? It's just like, yeah, in a night.
Yeah.
Especially the way I pour them, the home pours.
Yeah. I'm an alcoholic. I go to meetings.
I had to go to meetings.
27 years, baby.
I got all right. I was already impressed with 27. You didn't have to throw baby in there.
Okay.
He got all Telly Savalas on me. No, when I got arrested for drinking and driving, I had to go to 2 AA meetings.
Right.
And listening to the stories there, I was just like, well, I kind of looked at it as like a comedian. Like, I can't follow anything here, so I don't think I'm.
I think just because
I
you
don't
have
think
6
I'm
drinks or 10 drinks a night, that doesn't make you an alcoholic. Because I know a bunch of people who just love getting hammered, but then they go on and then alcoholics. It's a wiring of the brain.
Yeah, I don't have that because I do it. I do it too much, and then I just walk
Then
away.
don't worry
I
about
don't
it.
have the shakes. Yeah, but I went to that AA meeting. The guys were telling stories
Yeah, that
about,
bloody place.
my nose was coming off, and I taped it back on, and all I'm thinking is I got to go back to the liquor store. And if I went up there and shared, I would be like, yeah, I was at the hotel bar, and it closed, and I went to bed.
I went to the mini bar.
Yeah, I didn't even go to the mini bar. Went right to bed.
Yeah.
Woke up the next morning going, I got to stop doing that.
The fact that you talk about it, though, is a red flag to me. The fact that you're bringing it up.
Is it? And what sort of medical background do you have?
Listen,
Don't hit me with your red flags in the middle of the day. Like all of a sudden, I should start getting nervous. Look, I
have a
was off
PhD.
for a PhD. Okay, all right. Now I'm impressed.
So what do you think about that?
I gotta know where it's in, man. You know what's good about you? You that slow delivery, and then you just stare and you wait for me to flinch. You've done that to me twice. All right, maybe I'll go to a meeting with you. I want to hear your stories.
Well, we don't have to go to the meeting to hear my stories. I can just tell you later or
All right.
now if you want.
Okay, hey, the ball's in your court, man. I'm not trying to tell you where to go.
I
Stories.
actually have a book where a lot of it's in.
Oh, you do?
Called Lonely Boy, Tales of a Sex Pistol.
Do you ever do blow?
Yeah, I didn't really like it, though.
Oh, okay.
Heroin
I just
was
saw
my
you
thing.
sniff there. That was a red flag.
Let's play some music, otherwise people are going to tune out.
All right, let's do it.
I think I'm loving this so far. He's good, right? Oh, Ginge. Let's play some Rose Tattoo, Nice Boys, with my guest, Bill Burr. Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS. That was Nazareth, Razam and Naz. And we had Rose Tattoo, Nice Boys. We're going to go to the Duke real quick, and we're going to come back with my guest, Bill Burr. We're going to talk about what's the best, American football
Absolutely.
or English football.
Pick it up. Pick up the damn ball.
Pick it
and
up.
make it exciting.
It's a foot, it's a ball, you kick it.
Almost scoring a goal is exciting in your game.
World
So
Series.
almost get there.
World Series. It's just America playing. Who's the rest of them
But
playing?
we're the best in the world.
I know, because
That's
you're
why
the only
everyone
ones
around-
playing.
Well, maybe if you guys stepped up your game and allowed yourselves to pick up something in a sport.
We'll be right back. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox with my guest, Bill Burr. So we were talking about American football and in American sports as opposed to English sports. I mean, there's only one sport in England, really, which is football. But
You're not into the rugby at all?
No.
I like that 7-nation league or whatever. Like if you come in, not that I like if you come in last, they give you a wooden spoon.
Do
It's
they?
just funny to me, yeah.
I
That
don't
they
even
rub
know
it
that.
in. They still rub, because you're not allowed to do that over here now with millennials. They're so sensitive, you know what I mean? So you can never,
Snowflakes.
yeah, or whatever the hell they call them, yeah.
You can't insult them or... Do you ever watch
It's
Black
really
Mirror?
their parents that screwed them up. Everybody
Yes,
blames
yes.
them, but their parents,
Cuddling them.
they tried to create the painless childhood.
Big mistake.
Big mistake. You need to inflict the pain early, right?
Get that belt out.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with the belt when
that's
you're a
right.
kid.
Buckle side.
Yeah.
Buckle side. That kid will become president.
Did you ever watch that show, Black Mirror,
I think I did watch a couple
on
episodes.
Netflix? They got a new season that's really good.
I heard
and
it's
there was
great.
actually there was
Sort
actually
of like modern Twilight Zone, right?
well, everyone's everyone's different, but it's kind of futuristic, but the future's like just around the corner, or you're kind of in it. But they had one last night that was talking about that, how this woman cuddled her kid, like tried to protect her from everything, didn't want to see anything bad, and it all went pear-shaped. It was perfect. It was they have good subjects, you know, and that's and I'm with you.
Or what happened? I can't do that on the radio. Everybody get mad, right?
You might want to watch it. You might want to watch it.
I would rather you told me. You got me all excited.
It's too long to explain.
All right.
It's too long to explain. But let's go back to sports. So,
Do you watch One Punch Man on Netflix?
no.
It's an anime show. It's about this guy.
You do that.
It's about a guy who doesn't want to be a superhero, and he just became the strongest dude in the world, and he beats the crap out of these evil people, but he doesn't really want to do it. And he could care less, and everybody wants to thank him, and he doesn't care. I love it.
Do you do the voice for that?
No. Oh, I do one on, I'm sorry. I'm promoting a different cartoon as opposed to the one I do. I do a show called F is for Family
Yeah.
with Mike Price from The Simpsons. We're currently editing the 3rd season. You can watch the first 2 seasons.
That's on Netflix?
Yes, it is. Laura Dern, Sam Rockwell, Dave Koechner, just heavy hitters.
Don't
Dave
you
Kushner does all the music. It's awesome.
don't you love animation? You just show up in your sweatpants. You probably don't even leave
That's
it.
why I did it.
It's the
Because
best.
I didn't want to have a job, but I didn't realize the editing, how long it takes. Because what will happen is you send them the audio, and then they'll have, I don't know, they listen to it and they'll just draw it how they hear it, and then you got to go like, oh, no, that guy shouldn't be sitting, he should be standing. Whereas if you shot live action, you make that decision right there. So, but the good side
You're
is...
complaining about it?
No, I was getting to the good side.
Okay.
Okay. The thing is, you're just so smart, man. You're just trying to peek around the bends. if you just let me meander to my boring point here, is no. The good thing about it is nobody gets offended really. There's a few people have gotten offended. Oh, usually with like religious stuff. I mean, there's a guy out there that thinks we're like satanic, which is pretty funny. So then, of course, what we're doing now, we're layering in all this stuff just to,
To get back to this one guy who's complaining.
We just put some 666 stuff in there. Just I probably shouldn't say that because then if he does something crazy, then I guess I don't know.
They're gonna a lawsuit.
No, that'll be my fault.
You're being caught.
It'll be my fault that his parents raised him to believe in the devil, to worship the devil.
He played it backward, and it says kill someone.
That's right. This is dangerous ground we're going through right now.
I don't care. but the point about it, not the actual show, is that when you do animation, you can just show up. Do you do it from your house, or do you have to actually go to a studio?
No. You have to go. You go. There's conference calls. It's still a show. It's a lot of work, but fortunately, I work with awesome people. You know what I mean? And
so you don't get a script and you just go into a microphone.
No, we got to write the script first. So we spend. Spend a good.
So you're writing it too?
I'm in the writer's room. Yeah, I usually write one episode a season. At least I did in the second and third season. But I'm always in there, chiming in, running my yap, as they say.
Yeah, but you like doing it, right?
Yes, I do. Because
you can just read it. You don't have to memorize anything as well.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I like, I definitely like. I also like, if we're going to do it at 8, it starts at 8. Or if you're doing like a movie or something like that, like it's okay. We're starting at 8, and everybody's ready to go at 8, and then somebody down the street starts cutting down a tree with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Who the hell is that? We got to knock that off." It starts raining. Like, there's so many things that are out of your control with that. But yeah, I definitely like.
I'm available for voiceovers, by the way.
I'd love to have you on the show.
I'm available. Listen to this voice.
It's tremendous.
You can't just get this anywhere.
You can't. And I got to tell you, to actually see it now, it's just
see it.
I'm totally enamored right now.
Yeah. Remember that Geico guy? The Geico guy with the
lizard?
English. Yeah. He ripped me off.
Oh, that guy. I remember that guy. He asked. You know what happened with that guy? That guy asked for more money, and they axed him, and then they just had somebody do an impression of him, and now
I wouldn't know the difference. So he's doing.
At first, I noticed, and now I don't notice anymore. There's all those weird things, like that guy who used to do the thing for Verizon, and now he's over with Sprint.
Yeah,
acting like to me, I just look at that and be like, well, that guy will just say anything. Anything. He's trying to act like he's this cool guy, like they weren't trying to pay him. Oh, look at something almost happened in your game.
Oh no,
people are
nothing happened.
What's with the diving in you? That's another thing I can't get past is just the way people flop around.
Would you think they cheat in American football too? There's cheating, like guys fake being injured or.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a Patriots fan. We've gotten caught filming people. Yeah, there absolutely is. There's steroids. There's having
there's nothing
performance-enhancing drugs sent to your house in your wife's name, and you try to play it off that she blew out her shoulders taking cookies out of the oven. That they're not actually for you. These are all things that have happened. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Back in the day, guys used to put, when the head slap was still legal, they'd put little like thumbtacks and stuff, to make your helmet ring. You know what I mean?
Just so it would hurt.
Yeah, just
not
not the pointy part, the head of it. And they would just slap you upside the head. So and years later, you just go nuts and you kill your whole family from it.
Yeah,
it's crazy. The NFL gives you like $500 and says thanks for playing.
Do you think that that's wrong?
Killing your family, absolutely.
Like when you're done, you're just thrown out into the pasture. When you've served for doing the football, you've been a great player, but they don't all get screwed, right? When they retire, it's how they invested with their money that they had, right?
Yeah. That's I think now that they're just now they're discovering like the physical ramifications of slamming your head. Because even though you're wearing a helmet, like a lot of you English blokes, you say, they're wearing all that padding, it doesn't hurt. But the thing is, your brain still sets in fluid there. So it's basically the helmet, what it does is it protects your skull, but your head is still smashed, flying around in there.
Yeah, I saw a show on HBO about it. With Pete Berg did a documentary on HBO about that, about the head injuries.
You know what that reminds me of? One of my good buddies one time, I was over his house and we were drinking, right? Red flag. And he lives back east and I left my watch there. So I called him. I said, hey, can you ship it out? He goes, yeah, no worries. But I'll just throw it in a box. I just thought he meant that as an expression. And when it showed up, he had just literally put it in a box. There was no padding. The thing was just rattling around in there.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of was your brain playing football. No, the first thing I thought was this guy's a moron, and I have to call him and trash him for doing this. But that's I don't know. I was supposed to be an analogy.
You ever done any roids?
Yeah,
I have.
I love steroids.
I
I
have.
just shoot them into my feet though.
Why your feet?
Stand-up comedian, man.
You want fatter ankles?
Stand-up comedian. No, so I got these feet. Like I can do an hour and a half of stand-up. I don't need a stool. No, I'm too afraid to all of that stuff. Like, I got a rotator cuff issue that I've been battling for forever now, and people are telling me, that Kobe thing where you go and you get your blood spun, and then there's these stem cells, and I'm
go in these ice rooms.
Yeah, I'm too afraid of that. I want to,
That's probably why you're angry, because you've done steroids. That's what the dog's picking up on.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the bad. I didn't do the mellow ones. Well, I think roids eventually will be like weed. A weed you can have like that one that just makes you want to chill and maybe clean the house a little bit. And then the other one, there you go. And then the other one is, you're just standing there staring at the wall. I think roids will be like that. You'll be able to decide if you just want to get like slightly shredded to get the upper hand in your relationship, right?
Yeah.
Or if you just want to, be able to rip a tree out of the ground. It's like whatever you want to do. Just to be that strong just for like a week, if there was no side effect, like how would you use that power? If you could just rip a tree out of the ground.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your week? You going to help somebody out? You going to rob a bank? Just come in there, rip the safe door right off? Go off into the sunset, get yourself a boat?
Just go underground of the bank and just go back up to where the vault is.
Oh, like Sexy Beast. Great movie.
Yeah, but just with your head. Do extra roids. So we were talking earlier what kind of music you like. You said you like kind of 80s.
When I was saying what I grew up
metal
on,
bands.
because I grew up on 80s metal.
Don't get embarrassed.
And then there was all subsets of it. There was the hair metal, then there was the metal, and then there was AC/DC. So I was into Motley Crue, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, and AC/DC. But AC/DC and Stevie Ray Vaughan were probably the two biggest in my family that we listened to. And I guess now I've kind of gone back and listened to a bunch of other stuff that I never listened to before. I always try to get into punk, and I just don't.
Wasn't your thing?
I don't have the ear for it. No,
Yeah,
but I
right.
totally respect it because every musician that
No, it's okay.
I love
It's okay.
likes it.
It's okay. You've said it now.
Did I bother you? Your voice went up a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
No, it's all right.
Sorry.
We got a little surprise for you. We're here with Bill Burr, Jonesy's Jukebox,
You're
Cal
listening
OS.
to Jonesy's Jukebox on Cal OS. That was AC/DC Live Wire that was picked by Bill Burr. It's a good one, Bill.
Thank you.
Before that,
I'd love to take credit for it.
Motley Crue, Looks That Kill.
Yep, that was basically both those songs. That was me in 1983.
That was your thing, right?
That was my thing.
How old was you then?
15.
Really?
Well, there's no reason to lie at this point, is it? That's another thing I learned. You ever watch the first 48?
No. What's
First
that?
48, that's when somebody gets killed. They say, within the first 48 hours, they got to get the clues or else it becomes really difficult.
Oh, it's the true stories.
And what I learned in that is that if the cops ever bring you in, you don't have to answer anything. You just say, look, am I being charged with anything? Because if I'm not, I'm going to leave. If I am, I want a lawyer. That's what you're supposed to do. I told that to a cop. He's like, that's why I hate that show. He goes, because it teaches scumbags what to do when we bring them in.
Yeah. Did you see the show on Netflix about the poor kid who, it's a great short little story about this Mexican kid who was at the Dodgers game.
Oh, I heard about that.
And there was a murder at the same time and he got pulled for it. And it's a miracle.
Somehow Larry David was there, so they had the camera there and he
walked. It's a miracle. It's worth watching, just the miracleness of it. But the cops, they didn't care. They just wanted someone to take it, and they totally, weren't supporting this kid. And he would have been, the old election.
Yeah, and then not only do you lose your freedom, you're also going to jail as a nice guy. You don't know how to survive in there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear.
You know that thing now? They got that thing where if they put you in jail and they realize that you didn't do it, you have to sign a thing saying that you're not going to sue the state or they're not going to let you out.
Amazing, huh?
It's kind of crazy, isn't
Do
it?
you think you'd
you'd
last
they-
long in a penitentiary, like a hardcore penitentiary?
Yeah, I think I'd be exotic with my hair color.
Yeah.
You know, people.
I'm a
I
ginger.
think I get all kinds of attention.
I'm like Switzerland. I'm like neutral.
No, the
zone.
only way I would have to just join one of those gangs. I would have to like become like a Nazi, and just act like I was into all of that stuff. I mean, you'd have to do it in order to like survive. You got to pick a gang, right?
I don't know, but yeah, I guess that's the. You got the Aryans, you got the Mexican gangs.
I'd
and
have
you
a
got
little
the black
red.
gangs.
I'd have a little red Hitler stash.
There you go.
That's how I would go in. I'd shave the beard down to the Hitler stash.
Start walking funny.
Yeah, we'll stop bending my knees when I walk.
Don't do the knee.
Don't do. I think that's the only way I could survive. But even then, halfway through it, they'd realize that I wasn't a tough guy, and then I'd have to prove myself, and I'd figure the first confrontation I would lose, and then that would be it.
And you'd be like,
I think I would before I went in there, I would Google how to make a shank, and I would off myself.
YouTube.
YouTube?
YouTube, you get your answers for everything. YouTube, your answers.
You don't
for
think you get put on
everything.
some sort of watch list if you look at that one?
Well, I hope not, because I look at a lot of weird stuff on YouTube.
What's
I
the,
often
what's the last weird thing you looked at?
Like
Well,
con-
YouTube kind of like there's no-
conspiracy stuff.
You
like-
can only get so weird though on YouTube.
No, I
before-
know. No, I don't mean like weird, sex things. I mean as far as conspiracy stuff. As I'm watching some conspiracy thing, I'm wondering if someone's taking note of that.
Do you ever watch animals fighting each other? You ever go down that rabbit hole?
No, I'm not.
Like-
I'm not a fan of.
Like gorilla versus alligator?
I have done.
It's sort of like
actually
the
watched-
it's like the animal UFC, where in the beginning, the original before it was the UFC, it was literally a jiu-jitsu guy would fight someone who only did taekwondo, and evidently I don't know anything about martial arts, but all the schools of fighting used to argue my style's better than your style. And then what was
Yeah.
great about mixed martial arts, you finally got to see
Who's the best?
what was more effective. So this is like the animal version of that.
The gorilla's got to be the governor, right?
Well, it's got to be a home game. He's got to be on the land, you know. The alligator gets him in the water with that hostile crowd.
Oh,
I don't-
yeah.
I don't think he's going to last past the first quarter.
You know the gorilla's a vegetarian.
I know. I tried to say that to somebody one time, going, you could.
Where's he getting his muscles from bleeding leaves?
I know eucalyptus. Is that the koala?
That's
Koala's a little fatty though, huh?
they're smelly.
Sleeping
apparently.
all day?
They stink a lot as well. Apparently, I've never
What,
smelt
the-
one.
Gorillas
No, the koalas. They smell.
got that weird nose too. People find them lovable. I don't. I think they look a little shifty.
They can't fight either. Because no one wants to get near them because they stink. I think that's.
That's not true.
I don't know. I'm just talking out my thing. But let's go and visit the
I
dude.
can't believe I just went down, for 90 seconds. I was hanging in there like.
I had
I'm
the
actually
answer.
happy that you said that because I would have walked away with that knowledge. That's how rumors get started.
I know. I know.
I started most of them.
Richard Gere. Richard Gere's a classic.
That one doesn't even make sense.
I know.
You can't have a live animal in there
In the thing.
freaking out like it's going to die and you're somehow going to not have to go to the hospital or survive.
I don't get that one.
I would love
Was
to
it true though?
I would love to find the guy that came up with that one.
Was it true? Is it true?
Like, God, no, it's not.
I'm Rod Stewart. Okay, let's go and visit the Duke. Shovel's like freaking out over here.
Oh, we're not supposed to be talking about this stuff? I mean, I figure once I said I'd have a red Hitler stash, we can probably talk about what you want.
I'm walk funny in the
And walk
yard.
funny.
In the yard room. In
No
the
more
yard.
knees.
No more knees.
No more
Get
knees.
on your knee. We're going to visit the Duke. We'll be right back with my guest, Bill Burr. Thank you. In the Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS with my guest, Bill Burr. Is that your real name?
Yeah,
B-U-R-R.
yeah, like Raymond. Aaron. Michael. You don't know any
Are
of
they
these people?
famous people?
Sean played for the Red Wings. No,
Is it an
Aaron Burr is the
Irish?
guy. He shot the guy on the $10 bill, and because he won, everybody thinks he's the jerk. But the guy who
Lincoln.
died, nope, he was on the 5. He got shot by the guy who's on the quarter, I think, on the $2 bill. No, Aaron Burr got into a duel with I think Hamilton. I think his name is. I don't even know his name. He's on the 10.
Is that what that show's all about? Hamilton?
The musical. That's exactly what it's about. I kind of ruined the ending for you.
But I
It's, you know what it is? It's actually
You
I,
haven't,
I
because I've
believe
got no
it,
interest in seeing it.
It starts with him killing Hamilton, and then the whole musical is about how Aaron had to deal with being ostracized by society after that.
Did he take a knee?
I think he did.
But who was the other bloke who killed Lincoln? He was an actor, wasn't he? What was his name?
John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah.
That's right. He
Old,
just
old
walked.
Wilk.
Yeah, old Wilkie.
Oh, Wilkie.
You know, he put his mind to something. He got it done.
Hey, it's a lot easier back then.
If he had a lot more, you know, a little more positivity in his life. I got Invisalign, so I'm not talking well right now.
Well, there was no cameras back then, so things were a lot easier.
It's incredible that he got caught, right?
Yeah.
You figure he'd just run into a sea of people with powdered wigs and just be like, yeah, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Show me the replay. Show me the replay.
Show me the gunpowder on my hands. You can't figure it out.
Yeah, there's no DNA back
That's
then.
right. I was over here chopping wood. I was shoeing a horse.
So what else you got going on coming up?
I got nothing, man. I got.
You're playing Santa Barbara, stand up.
That's right.
15th.
If they put out the fires, I'm going to be up there in February.
February 15th in Santa Barbara at the Arlington Theatre.
Yeah.
I think their fires are out. I drove past there when I went up on my break, and it was still going.
Oh, it was. Yeah, it's scary.
A couple of weeks ago.
It's scary.
Really, really bad.
Where was the rest of the country on that one, you know?
Yeah.
They have hurricanes, we give them money, right? All of a sudden the Hollywood Hills catch on fire, they don't know our number anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
It would have been nice, right? A couple of dollars to help out Rupert Murdoch, poor bastard.
Oh, man. Yeah, where are they? I'm lost for words. Say something.
You know what it is? I don't. You're looking at the sheet here like there's going to be something
I know,
here.
there's nothing on there.
I do a podcast, I do a cartoon, and I'm going to be telling my jokes February 15th in Santa Barbara at the Arlington Theater. And if anybody is going to be in New York City, any of your listeners on February 20th, I do a benefit every year for the late, great Patrice O'Neill. Greatest comedian I ever saw live. If you've never seen him, that'd be a great thing to go on. When you're done with the conspiracy theory, and he was actually into it a lot, watch some of his comedy.
Is there video of him?
Yes.
What's his name?
Patrice O'Neill. He was actually big over in your country.
Yeah. When did he die then?
2011, he had a stroke. Complications from a stroke.
Was he on the stage when he had it?
No.
You know when you get on the videos sometime and they have a link? 10 people who died on stage, and then you start looking at all the people who
He's not on that list, but I've looked that up. There was a guy who...
Tommy Cooper, the English comedian, died on stage, and everyone thought he was messing about.
That's the one I read about.
Yeah.
They thought he was faking a heart attack, and everybody was laughing.
Yeah, because that's what he would do.
And they're like, wow,
stuff like that.
He's really committed to this.
I think when you have an heart attack, your chances, unless you're like in an emergency... in a waiting room.
Yeah, no.
What's your chances if it's a bad one? You got a couple of minutes, right?
Yeah,
if you're having a bad heart attack.
I don't know how that works, but it's somebody has to know CPR, have that defibrillator, all of that type of stuff. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I took a CPR class like 25 years ago, and now they're saying you don't have to breathe in their mouth. You just do the chest thing.
That's easy. I could do that. I ain't kissing no one.
That's what I was kind of relieved.
Yeah.
With that, you know what I mean? You ever think that? Like you look at a buddy of yours, like, man, if he ever like had a heart attack, could I do that?
No, not with that breath.
I think I could do it with a stranger more than because I never have to see him again. Then he's thanking you afterwards, like, yeah, buddy, get away from me. But it was a friend of yours. Yeah, that would be a little rough.
Most guys have horrible breath. I couldn't kiss another dude.
For me, it would be the stubble. That's what I don't think I'd ever be able to shake that feeling.
Yeah, just that food breath and pyorrhea. You know, you ain't been to the dentist. Hey, man, thanks for coming by.
I had a great time. Thank you for playing some of my music. I hope it didn't offend a bunch of your listeners.
It didn't offend anybody. And good luck to you. We're going to visit the Duke in a minute. You got something, Shovel?
Yeah, this portion, Jonesy's Jukebox, is brought to you by Fast Forward. And
Good
also,
luck to you.
coming up a little bit later in the show, we're going to be giving away a pair of tickets for The Darkness at the Fonda Theater on March 29th.
Okay.
Yeah, is that it? Am I free to go?
Yeah, you're the one who got to go.
Yeah, I got this. I didn't realize you were gonna let me be on this long.
Well, it's been fun.
I've had a good time.
It could have been 5 minutes.
Oh, so okay, good.
Yeah, we did. We had a lot. We had a laugh.
All right, we'll talk more about redheaded Hitler and heart attacks when I return at some point. All right.